Hey guys, welcome to the channel if you're new. Welcome back if you're a subscriber. Special thanks to all of my patrons. My name's Neil, and it's time for the next episode of Arcane. Last episode, we started the second act of the series. We took our time jump from the first 3 episodes, and we see where Powder / Jinx and Vi are now, about 5 years later, it seems. And we also see how much Hextech has changed Piltover for, made it even more prosperous, even more wealthy, even more reliant on technology. And we also see the effect Shimmer has had on the underground, the undercity, the lanes, especially now that Vander is gone and Silco has basically become the power in the lower city. Shimmer is everywhere, and not only is it an addictive drug, but it's also being used as a power source. And it's interesting. I like that the world that we've been shown here, the League universe, it's got these two competing sources of power, Hextech and Shimmer, and they're both like world changing, but one comes from the underground, one comes from the high ups in Piltover, and it's just such a rich, deep world that I'm fascinated to see the next episode, because I have seen these before, guys, but I think a rewatch really gives me the chance to catch the nuance, not just in story, but in character, and that's one of the things I'm really loving about these characters. There are no 100% good characters or 100% bad characters. Every character has their flaws and every character has their virtues. And a lot of them are dealing with this internal struggle of how they need to act at any given moment. So yeah, I'm excited to see where we go. Right at the end of last episode, Caitlin found Vi in the prison, and we've seen where Jinx is now, as far as how she's ingrained herself in as Silco's daughter / not right-hand man, but not minion. Like, she's sort of this wild card in Silco's organization that Silco's trying to guide and control, but not to 100% success. Anyway, let's jump into it, guys. This is episode 5 of Arcane, and it's called Everybody Wants to Be My Enemy, which I believe is the name of the title track of the intro. I love the design of Caitlin's gun. Yeah, she held up.
You held your shot. I saw you.
The trophy is yours. Being able to protect people, to be of service to the city. That's trophy enough. Begs the question, young Kerman. What are you shooting for?
Yep. That's the moment she starts thinking about being an enforcer, protecting the city.
This was a waste of time. Couldn't have put it better. Hey, give Silco a kiss on that winning eye of his, will you?
Crossing the line.
Does this mean anything to you?
Where did you get this?
There was an attack. This is evidence. I need proof if I'm to believe what you're saying about Silco. In what mad world would I trust someone like you?
Someone like me? Undercity's gonna eat you alive.
And there's some truth to that, she knows. And she's out.
These brave enforcers sacrificed their lives to defend the values of our great city. They're heroes.
I mean, it's interesting because, like, Marcus believes all of that. Like, I mean, he believes in being an enforcer and that it does good, but, you know, he made a wrong decision when he got in bed with Silco.
Who was this, Daddy?
A good woman. You said you could control her.
And that's on him.
Arresting her would be doing you a favor.
I don't need favors. I need you to do your job.
What if I'm not interested in playing along?
Well,
We've accomplished a lot together, Marcus.
dangerous game.
Sheriff.
Great transition.
Look, I'm sorry I didn't announce our other projects in my speech. Soon we can do everything.
Soon? There are people who need our help now.
This corruption runs deep, Sheriff. I intend to root it out.
I mean, Jace is so idealistic at this point. He's got such good intentions.
They call themselves violence. They operate like phantoms doing hit and runs on civilians and discipline.
Do we think that the Hex Tech is making Victor sick at any level?
You're right.
Or is it just
I need to get to the lake.
his long-term illness and the Hex Tech is strictly there as an option to cure him?
Boring. Wow, super boring.
Yeah, but she's going
Here
through
we go.
Jace's...
This turns it on. So, here goes.
Figured it out. Man. Almost happened. But it's just like what happened.
No, it was a mistake. It was a mistake.
She's got that box of memories still. Of Vi's, the doll, and the flare that she's supposed to hold up.
Too risky.
Definitely not a parkour outfit that Caitlin's wearing. I love how dynamic the camera work is in some of these shots. And that's just gorgeous right there. Like, let's face it. Yeah. Here's what the lanes have become while you were gone. These guys don't know what they're about to get into.
Nice jacket.
Nice little bit of comedy there with the super old, whatever that is, hobbling along.
Welcome to the lanes.
What if we've been looking at it backwards? If the legends are true, mages aren't bound to single functions. They think. They adapt.
Are you sure this is safe?
Of course not.
But he's willing to take the risk.
I didn't break you out of jail to eat slop. I knew this was a terrible idea.
Better than I remember.
What fun character design. Just for a little cameo like that. But like they put so much thought into even a character like that. With the chopping block slash what part of armor is that? Is that a... It's not a gauntlet. A pauldron? Yeah.
By leniencies, you mean corruption. I tightened our security.
And in so doing,
You
put
made a bunch of
target on your
enemies.
back. You've just made yourself everyone's common enemy, Jace.
Don't kill the Raven. Raven's dead. I love that all those scratches are just Vi. It almost just looks just random, but it's... She's got a little stuff to work through. She doesn't quite hit high score, so she shoots it.
Well, that place does look like it has bodies buried in the basement.
Yeah.
You don't know anything.
Yeah, that's a little too close to home. That's where she used to hide out, in the basement. The last drop.
I never wanted anything to do with politics. You pushed this on me.
You're a symbol of the future now, Jace, whether you like it or not. With that comes the potential to shape your own destiny.
Of course, she's shaping him.
You know, Counselor Madara's right. The Hex Gates are only the beginning. In fact, we're currently looking for new partners in our Hex Tech research.
He's playing the game. I love that they're setting this in this theatrical operatic sort of setting, because it really is a play. You know, like, that's what all this glad handing and behind the scenes negotiation is about. It's all just scripting the future. It's a performance. And she's applauding him, not the music. Well, that was the clue she was given. That little rune on the window.
How exactly do you propose we go about this?
If you really want people to talk to you, you have to let them think you have what they want.
And what do I have?
You're hot, Cupcake.
Sheriff.
Literal blood
What
money.
a lovely surprise.
The Hextech Wonder Boy is on the council now. It's only a matter of time before he finds the truth.
No, he's been talked out of that.
If I'm discovered, we're both finished.
And don't
Good
get
thing you've located
discovered.
proof of the Firelight's involvement. Hmm? Imagining yourself a hero.
Yeah, he's imagining it.
Then what are you waiting for?
He can't. Because he's not a martyr. He's greedy.
Things have changed without Vander looking out for us.
Have you heard anything about Powder? I think Silco has her.
This is all I've seen.
Little hints at a future with Vi and Caitlyn there.
Imagine the wonders they could create if we put magic in their hands.
The world will never be the same. The Medardas usually only take from the world. We're not often in the position to give anything back.
I couldn't have done it without you.
And she takes what she wants, doesn't she? I think Mel's an interesting character too, because she's definitely, I mean, she's the richest person in Piltover. She's got these capitalist dreams, but she does have good intentions behind it.
I thought we could walk together.
I'm probably going to sleep here tonight.
Again? You know, there's always tomorrow, right?
Not so much. Open your eyes, Victor. We still got that operatic feel from earlier. The real orchestral music. You know, intertwining these two scenes. And Hextech merging with blood. It's this two becoming one metaphor, you know? The Hextech needed, like, life force, basically.
That day, I let a weak man die.
Yeah. That was his baptism, his rebirth.
You need to let Powder die. Jinx is perfect.
I mean, she looks so much like Powder in that shot in particular before she's submerged.
When my back is to the world, that was smiling when I turned.
Yeah. Imagine Dragons get their cameo. I wonder if they had any say in their design, their look. Her sneer. I love her sneer. That scowl. Where's Marcus's wife? Do we ever learn about that? I think we just know that he's a single dad.
How much time do I have?
Death and the Magician. Gambling with Terror. That shot is awesome. Out of nowhere.
Bye.
Yeah.
You filthy traitor.
Didn't even notice that the first time, but you see the arm powering up under the poncho. So cool. These are really well choreographed fight scenes too. They're not like sometimes animated fights feel like they don't have weight to the characters and to the action. But these have so much gravity and force behind them. Oh jeez. And you can enhance animation, like, you know, you can have this. You can exaggerate the dust that comes off somebody when you hit them, or the spittle, you know. So you really put energy behind every blow. Oh, love that. That the arm has these moments where it moves completely non-humanly. It's purely mechanical.
Where's he keeping her?
Keeping her? She works for him.
She wants to. Oh.
She's like his daughter.
Oh. Literal gut punch ×2. Gut punch, and then the info itself is nothing but a gut punch.
I'll give her your regards.
And at that moment, Vi's like completely given up. Good thing Caitlyn's a good shot. Now it's interesting because when you first see that gun, it feels like it's a breech loader, a single cartridge.
Why did you let her go?
Do you ever say
And yet, in that scene, it's more like a repeater.
Whose fault is that?
Nevertheless, super cool.
You gonna help me out, Cupcake?
Stop calling me that.
Yeah, that's not going to
My name is
happen.
Caitlyn.
She's going to remain Cupcake.
Like a cupcake.
The start of a beautiful friendship. Yeah. And now she can do it. She is reborn. I love the stuff that they've made for this show. Like all the props, all the books, there's so much richness to every shot and every scene.
She's back.
From the dead.
No. She's back. It's hard for me to not just gush about this show because it's beautiful. Like it's just so well made. Like the aesthetic is 100% every single shot. Throwaway characters, passing sets that we don't spend a ton of time on get just as much attention to design and execution as our leads, you know, as our heroes. And it shows. Like everything is just so gorgeous. I'm really glad I'm getting a second watch here because there's things that you sort of pick up on the first time, but you really get to see the writer's intent the second time, if that makes sense. Like really paying attention this time, for instance, to Powder's journey in this episode. Jinx, I have to start calling her Jinx. I apologize, but early on, she can't deal with the hex tech because it's bringing back all these memories of Milo and Clagger and Vi and Vander and that night, and so she just sort of gives up. And so Silco's solution is this baptism in the water, where he, in his own words, was reborn. He killed the weak man that day himself and was reborn as he is now when he fought back against Vander, who was drowning him. Still wish we got that story, because what the precise events that would have led to that, I'd love to hear that story one day. But nevertheless, she gets baptized, and Silco's got this way, and I think it's entirely because Silco sees himself in Jinx completely. There's so many parallels between Vander and Silco and Vi and Powder. Vi literally takes over Vander's gloves. They're the strong one. They're the leader, and Silco and Powder. We don't know what Silco was like as a child, perhaps, but he's certainly cunning and crafty and ruthless, and Jinx has a lot of that detachment as well. That killing doesn't affect them, and yet they form tight bonds, and they formed a really tight bond with each other. But yeah, I think Silco really sees Jinx in himself, and therefore has an insight into how to help her through her hurdles, including getting past those visions of Milo and Clagger. Now, those aren't going to go away, but they've gone away enough, at least, that she can throw herself into figuring out how to weaponize hex tech. That's a cool journey to watch in this episode. I also really like, obviously we get to learn more about Caitlin, and we get to see that initial spark of something between her and Vi. I really hope we get into a season 2 of them, because from what I understand, Vi becomes an enforcer, Caitlin becomes sheriff, and that they become a couple of sorts, I believe. So I want to see more of that story. I feel like we're just sort of setting up this world in this first season, and there's so much more to come. But like, every character is rich, every character is nuanced. Like I said in the preamble, every character has flaws and virtues. There is no purely good or purely bad character in this show. We understand everybody's motivation. I don't think there's one character that I can't empathize with on some level. You may not agree with them, but you get why they do what they do, and everybody is a hero in their own story. They may be living a terrible story. They may be stuck in really difficult positions, but everybody is doing what they do because they think it's the thing that needs to be done. It's the right thing to do in their world. Everybody acts like their own hero, and that's really good writing. Because it's so easy to write an evil villain, but writing an evil villain with motive and motive that you can empathize with, that's what makes an antagonist next level. And I feel like this show's got it in spades. So I am psyched to see the rest of the episodes. This second watch, I'm getting so much out of. I hope you guys are getting something out of it too. I'd love to hear your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. If you're so inclined, check out my Patreon. That's where you can get early access to all of my reactions, including these ones. You can see my full-length reactions, and you can vote on future shows that you'd like to see me react to as well. And it's the best way to support the channel. It would be greatly appreciated. So, until next time, everybody, take care, stay healthy, and we'll see you soon. Cheers.